The vice presidential debate today, October 7th, demonstrated that while there are deep divisions between Republicans and Democrats, there are leaders in both parties, such as Senator Harris and Vice President Pence, who are actually capable of talking and possibly cooperating as American politicians did across the aisle. This was a better quality debate than the two principal contenders, Mr. Biden and President Trump. I do believe that while there are deep divisions today in America, we are capable of bridging these gaps. And we also heard from the foreign policy point of view that the main topics, China, trade, NATO, Iran, reflect the deep divisions. I must say, from my point of view, that the Trump administration achievements in defeating ISIS, yes, the foundations were laid down during the Obama years, but these achievements need to be remembered, just as other achievements such as moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem after many presidents promised that. Trump accomplished that and also triggered the rapprochement and the mutual recognition between Israel, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, and hopefully other countries as well. At the same time, Senator Harris emphasized the deeply problematic trade relations with China. We heard today that the deficit with China, the trade deficit, is one of the highest ever. And we need to do much more with our friends and allies to improve our trade position vis-a-vis China. I think both sides, both parties, were correct to point out both problems and the future path to mend the relations with our NATO allies. The NATO allies, especially Germany, did not pay enough to sustain the mutual defense. I don't want to say that Germany was freeloading, but they did not even reach the 2% of the GDP allocated to the military budgets that the Wales NATO summit in 2014 prescribed to all the members. There are very few members now that pay 2%, and if you take the US, the UK, and Canada out of the NATO budget, what remains is only 20% of the budget, as far as I know. So a lot to do regardless of who is going to be president. I think the sides clearly disagreed about the Paris Accords, about the environment, and to me, as an energy expert, the Green New Deal is a non-starter. It is so expensive and it's so aspirational that we will not be able to meet these targets without breaking the piggy bank. So both sides, I think, need to think very carefully about how do we pursue the climate change challenge. I think both sides have some good ideas. The fact of the matter is the US cut a lot of our carbon emissions because we are ramping up both the renewables and the natural gas as the transition fuel between the fossil fuels and the renewables in the future. So a lot of things to work on. I think Senator Harris was right. The Trump administration and the Democrat House did not manage to reach a very necessary infrastructure bill, did not manage to pass the infrastructure bill, which is badly needed to ramp up our industrial and transportation infrastructure. Hopefully, whoever is elected president, they will be able to move the ball forward. I would also point out that while the Trump administration took a lot of credit for the revised North American trade agreement, the new NAFTA, if you want, it was to a great degree a restructuring of the old NAFTA accords. They're similar, and yes, there are some improvements in favor of the United States. I do believe that we will need to work very, very hard on our trade policy in the next administration. I'm also was not surprised that Kamala Harris brought up Russia, but it also worth mentioning that there was not very much the Obama administration did to stop the Russian electronic and social media interference in the 2016 elections. So, to me, this debate, one, showed that the rivals were evenly matched. I don't think anybody won decisively. Second of all, I do believe, and I'm optimistic, that there is hope that Republicans and Democrats will be able to work together, especially if the foreign threats and challenges continue to rise in the future as they have been so far. Clearly, our preparedness for combating global pandemics and epidemics needs more attention. There is a consensus, unfortunately, that COVID-19 is not the last epidemic we're facing. So I would say life is going on. The security threats never disappear and may rise, especially with the rise of China. Russia will continue to play a spoiler, as it has been doing for the last 20 years. And I hope and pray that the United States will overcome its current internal divisions. We will overcome the challenge of the COVID pandemic, and we will continue to be the strongest, the most democratic, and the most inspiring country on the planet. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to get more content like this.